It is time once again to watch a senior citizen throw a tantrum for all the world to see. And by that, I don't mean Donald Trump. Everyone else is doing a great job on covering whatever that fucking moron has to say. No, of course, we're going for the slightly more elusive game of the one, the only, Dr. Dino, Kent Hovind down in Lenox, Alabama, Dinosaur Adventureland. Bring your kids here, leave with one less because they drowned. Yeah, in case you don't know, that actually happened there. I know my regular audience knows that, but if you're new around here, yeah, that's just one of the many, many things. So a little preamble, and by very little, um, starting to get busy out there. Holiday season is in it. We're in fourth quarter, so yeah, so far so good. First couple of weeks have gone all right. We'll see how things go. Second half of November and then into December. And it's Veterans Day, so thank you to everyone who has served. I know some people in my chat and in my Discord are actual U.S. military veterans, so thank you. Y'all are fucking awesome. Um, yeah, there's really nothing else to say on that. It's just a matter of appreciation. Remember, the origin of this day is that uh, 11 a.m. Paris time on November 11th, 1918, is when the ceasefire became active, the end of World War One. So that's why the day is the day it is. And yeah, I could go on and on. On the 100th anniversary, I wrote a piece on Zadara. That's back there. Speaking of pieces on Zadara, yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I wrote a short piece on that. So again, follow the link down below, zadara.com, and you will see that piece if you're there right now, or you go there right now, or after the stream is the day of, before I do another stream or another article. It should be the most recent one. But that being said, let us jump right into things the same way we always do. Well, actually, this time I've got Kent loaded up. So yeah, as usual, they're still in tiny vision, so you actually cannot see Hovind. There, I move myself out of the way. There he is. I don't think is Dino Lamp on? No, I don't think it's on. I don't think Dino Lamp is on today. What a shame. What a shame. Actually, can I do this way? Ah, that's not what I want. Um, hmm. I'll do this way. Hey, there we go. That'll work. That'll work since now Hovind has the problem of being tiny, but it will be able to see more of his screen. So we're going to go this way until this problem gets fixed. Like I said, I think their primary multiplexing system, the one where all that Joseph normally controls things from, bit the dust. So that being said, let's get right into it.
Well, good evening, folks. Ken Hovind and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. It is November the 10th, 2025. Joseph has been putting up shorts for people to watch on all our channels. He just did one of
Bruce Wayne. Yes, you didn't know? Yeah, it was, I think, 2020, 2021 range, maybe 2019, but right around that range. Yeah, a kid actually drowned and died at Dinosaur Adventureland. And yeah, there's our friend Watney Kerman. Hey. Stressing, yes, a kid did die on Hovind's watch. True story.
But where Aaron Ross said nobody believes we came from a rock. That's going to be hilarious. Look on that one. Spread that around to everybody, okay? Yes, you do believe you came from a rock if you believe.
Quit telling people what they believe, Kent. First and foremost, stop fucking doing that. You don't know what other people believe. The person who feels the way they do about things is the only one who actually knows for sure what they believe. And your attempt to ridicule, to turn your misunderstanding of science into something to ridicule is beyond childish. Grow the fuck up, Hovind.
Even evolution. Okay, tonight will be in Ecclesiastes, chapter 8.
And let's not ignore that the first things first. He has to bring up I gotta bring up evolution, I gotta bring up and now we're gonna talk about Ecclesiastes and maybe eventually bring up my God and my Jesus that I really care about. But first, it's all about Hovind. That smug shit-eating grin he's got there in that photo. Fuck you, Kent.
Dead center in the Bible, book of Psalms, got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. We're on a bunch of channels. Finally got over 200,000 on Facebook. Thank you. Tell your friends about us. Rumble, 10,000. let's see,
Zuni, hello there. Good to see you.
X, 2,200. Our own app, you want to get on that, or Instagram, over 7,000 now, and 79,000 on TikTok. That adds up to a whole bunch, brother. Yeah, about 400.
Kent, it's mostly the same damn people. Like, seriously.
Let's see, about 300,000. Please tell people about it. We want to win the world to Christ, okay? Let's see, November we did that already.
Fuck your Jesus.
The singing group tonight, the 10th, Ecclesiastes 8. Tomorrow night, Veterans Day. I'm going to be on another show at 7 o'clock, right? Broadcast here too, right? Yes. Yeah, okay. My dad was a vet, World War II, only survivor of his platoon, Marine Sergeant.
There we go with the stolen valor. You're not a veteran. Just bringing up your daddy constantly doesn't make you anything, and you don't get the respect he, under normal circumstances, would deserve for you happening to have been something he shot out his dick into your dumbass mom back in 52. All right, that doesn't give you any special privileges whatsoever. Second off, your dad was a piece of shit because one, he raised a piece of shit like you, and two, he only survived his platoon. Only survived his platoon because he was sick. You are the one who told us that story. Meaning, had he been sent off, he'd have died just like everyone else did to whatever forces they were fighting over there in Japan. Whatever particular island, whatever particular thing it was. Obviously, the Japanese one-upped you, or one-upped his platoon, and he only survived because he wasn't actually in combat. So by a stroke of ill fortune of him getting sick, the world has had to have almost 73 years of you existing on it. What a shame. And yes, Kent, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Your father is basically the only World War II veteran on the Allied side, I should stress, that I know enough about to not have respect for. To disregard the fact that they were part of the group that helped save the fucking world. Because your daddy didn't do shit. He played the same game as Trump, Mr. Bone Spurs, Mr. I've got the flu. Fuck your dad. And yes, I'll say that on motherfucking Veterans Day. Fuck Ken Hovind's dad.
So I got a whole bunch of stuff ready on that in case we ever...
Oh, Kent, by the way, guess who else's daddy was a Marine? You want to take a wild guess? He's talking about you right now. Yeah, me.
Glitch there. Excited about veterans. We love veterans. Come on down to Dinosaur Adventure Land.
No, you fucking don't.
We let them fish here. And the police, we let them fish.
Oh, we love veterans. We let them fish here. We let them fish here. Motherfucker, it's goddamn backwater Alabama. There's gonna be a lake every 5 fucking feet. You go wherever, there's some place to fish. There's a little river. There's a little creek. Let's do this. Oh, and I'm fish here in our artificial little lakes because it's an old gravel pit that we stock with fucking fish. Where's the challenge there?
Everybody else, no. We're going to pay a bunch of money for fish just to give it away, right? Joseph, let them buy their own. Thanksgiving, come join us for Thanksgiving or Christmas. We'll be your family. Come on down. All kinds of stuff to do here. Anybody coming from Dallas, please give me a call. We got lots of stuff in Dallas needs brought here.
Yeah, Bruce, that's the funniest thing of all. They want to mock the "we came from Iraq" misinterpretation of mineral compositions being added into the equation, if you will, of life. And when they have a literal Gollum spell where dirt is made into the shape of a human, I guess in the shape of the deity, and life is breathed into it through the nostrils, a literal Hebrew Gollum spell to bring us to life. Yeah. Fuck that shit. It's the same damn thing. Except, his story is actually described accurately there.
Here. Some can just carry anything. Got a bunch of fossils and different stuff to bring to.
Oh, I'll bring it, Kent. I'll bring it right here and never give it to you. Someone should fucking do that. Go through all the arrangements to be like, yeah, I'll bring it. Well, where is it? I don't know. Just ghost them. Steal all the fossils. Keep them away from this asshole.
Here, come help us to open for free. Join our 777 club. I like what you're doing, winning souls. I'm going to help you. $1 a day. Penny.
And if you want to help what I'm doing, praising Satan, promoting communism, social revolution, freeing Palestine, eating the rich, etc., send a few shekels my way because the only way to fight the capitalist system is through capitalism, sadly. Until, better things happen. The momentum's going. It's just going to take some time. It takes a while. Random Aqua Teen quote. Let's continue. But seriously, super chats and the like definitely accepted. Very welcomed. I'll totally love you for the next month and send feet pics. No feet pics. Okay, I don't know. I mean, if that's what you want, let's talk. But not now.
A date, whatever you can. Brother Ernie used to just cry when people from other countries would, send in, less than 10 cents, Probably have to work 3 days to get 2 pennies, And we just want to win souls, okay? If you don't want to help, get out of the way. We're going to do it anyway. So go drdino.com. 9.7 years now. Okay, go to slide number 480, enter.
Syphilis, was that the case? I can't recall. Oh, Claude probably knows can verify that one way or the other. Oh, Zumi, granddad on dad's side passed away when I was 7. Complications of being exposed to Agent Orange. Yeah. So Agent Orange, defoliation chemical used predominantly in the Vietnam War, or prominently in Vietnam. One of the constituent products in the production of it is good old dioxin, which is one of, or effectively the most toxic substance known to man. So yeah, pretty fucking rough. And that's part of why I give Vietnam vets a break. Just amongst a myriad of reasons. I'm not going to treat them like shit. Fuck, man, they got fucked over. And same thing with Gulf War vets on the ground. Something wasn't right in that. War is hell. War is hell. And Dave, hello. How are you doing, my friend? Hopefully well. Hopefully well. Just seeing you brings a smile to my face. S'mores Pop Tarts with a great one. Hey, want to hear something crazy but totally unrelated to this stream? If you do foot porn, you're selling your soul. Oh, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't.
Old Testament is everything before Jesus came. There are 39 books in the Old Testament. It happens there are 3 letters in Old and 9 letters in Testament. Easy way to memorize it. And 3 times 9 is 27, and there are 27 books in the New Testament. In the middle, there are what's called the poetry books: Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon. We've been going through the book of Ecclesiastes. He calls himself the preacher. The preacher, the preacher, the preacher.
I just got to say, you think if Jesus was so damn important, more than like a third of the book, or 1/4 of the book would be devoted to the bastard.
And he was King Solomon, okay? The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity, vanity, saith the preacher, all is vanity. He was the richest man that ever lived, the smartest man that ever lived. This is King Solomon writing, okay?
If he was so rich and so smart, why is he dead?
According to 1 Kings 10, he got 666 talents of gold annually. That's about 25 tons or $4.7 million a day. If you can't live on that, you're living too high on the hog. Okay?
In today's value, you fucking moron. What did they use gold for back in the day? To make shit look pretty. What do we use gold for today? High-end technology, specialty cases, high-end conductors, specialty reflective mirrors on, fucking space telescopes and shit, bruh. It was bullshit back in the day. It was shit you fucked around with. It was, look at me, I have shiny, obscure metal. Enjoy the things I have that are made of this metal. Which, honestly, most gold doesn't appeal to me at all. Don't like the way the stuff looks. Like, it's not really impressive. Now, silver, that's a different story. Especially when silver tarnishes just the right way. That's real nice, where you can almost see into like a weird inverse void in it. Like the tarnish on it has its own, like, it is alive. It's so cool. Or maybe I'm just a fan of, abstract horror.
Right? He had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 porcupines.
I made the porcupine joke again. Hey, Ken, since you're bringing up stuff again, let me remind you that by saying 700 wives, that implies women he's would have cleaved into and claimed that status of not even mutual care, but a sort of ownership of. The concubines are just women he but they have no rights. What rights the wife had, quote unquote. But then the princesses, Kent. That's the thing. What's a princess about? Well, you think about it, young woman. Um, let's see. She's not a queen yet, and she was his. So young woman is oh. He had a few gifts that weren't unwrapped yet, because that's biblical marriage right there. 700 wives. Uh, the wording is vague. Does it mean 700 princesses as well? Did he have 1,400 women plus 300? Or is it like this is terrible? I mean, English is messy like that, but is this the total number of women is 700? So I mean, what percentage were wives versus princesses versus, well, okay, so we have the wives versus princesses, and then the concubines, independent. Or are the princesses supposed to be daughters of his? Because the way it's phrased in here, that'd make it even sicker. I mean, come on, dude. I'm not gonna let this go. You keep bringing this up because you're jerking off and glazing Solomon like a fucking donut. Back shots on Solomon. Oh, but dude, this is pretty fucking sick. All right. And y'all just gloss over it because the Bible's such a good book. And for anyone who can't read between the lines, the implication here is that the man not only had multiple wives and women he just straight fucked, but also women who he was going to fuck but had not yet fucked. Who apparently they were just sold into this because, what's their right? What's their choice? Or did he just have that much poon throwing its way at him? I don't know. Fuck Solomon. What a piece of shit. Oh, good. He's more than likely a fictional character. And if he is based off a real character, fuck him, regardless, or a real person. Piece of shit. I don't think there's anyone in the Bible that's good. I don't think there's a damn person in there that I actually give a fuck about. Let's continue.
Concubine. And his wives turned away his heart. Sad thing. Solomon loved the Lord. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon and said, "What do you want? I'll give you one wish. Give thy servant an understanding heart. Lord, give me wisdom, okay? To understand, because I'm going to be the judge of all your people. Help me have wisdom to know what's right."
Zoomy, I just want to clarify. Is that a GIF from fucking Macross? Because I swear to God, that looks like Veritex and shit, or is that Transformers? No, it's got to be Transformers. Nothing in Macross is like that. It's got to be Transformers. But so one thing looks like a fucking Veritech. Anyway, none of y'all can see the Discord unless you're in the Discord, so let's continue.
And wrong. And the speech pleased the Lord. And the Lord said, I've done according to thy words. I've given thee a wise and understanding heart, though there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall arise any unto thee. So Solomon became the smartest man ever to live. He wrote most of the book of Proverbs and the book of Ecclesiastes, and another one called
Zoomy with a update. Something I missed. Also, Kent said 25,000 tons of gold a day, but his slide says a year. Get it right, Hovind. Which one is it? If you can't live on the donations flowing, you should eat at a Chinese restaurant less, Hovind. Oh, don't worry. Dead serious. He hasn't mentioned the Chinese restaurant or made any. Forgive me for saying this, but this is the only way I can phrase it. Oriental themed jokes. So I think our attempts at letting the restaurants he likely go to, or he would likely go to in Bruton, because I'm aware of two of them, they got wise and they're no longer welcome there, which would be fucking great.
the Song of Solomon. We'll get into that someday. God said, I've also given thee that which thou did not ask, riches, honor. There shall not be among the kings like unto thee all thy days.
Justin bringing up the Ecclesiastes says, man is an animal. You think Kent will skip chapter 3, verse 18 to 20? We're going to have to find out.
So Solomon was building his own house 13 years, and he finished his house. He had the biggest and fanciest house in the world. Had plenty of money, everything.
Zoomy looked it up. I just looked it up, and it meant literal princesses, acquisitions he made from other nations, basically selling him their daughters contractually. So, yeah. I mean, that's the vibe I was sort of getting, but, the point. Like, why would you want some random princess? Oh, because, in that age, that's all women were good for.
everything you could ask for. And his wife turned away his heart. The fanciest throne of anybody ever. Nobody had a throne like King Solomon. Had
I don't know, man. Ozzy's throne was pretty fucking badass.
1,400 chariots.
Wow, I don't give a shit what this man had. What the fuck does it matter? Aren't you the very people who say the stuff you have doesn't matter? Then why are you glazing over whatever this fuckwit supposedly had according to your magic book of bullshit? Why is it always that the televangelist got to have the jet because God said, got to have this, got to have that because God said, oh, this character's in the book, have all this, have all that. And when you also say material stuff doesn't matter, so donate it to the church. What does the church need that? Why does God need money? Why does God have a gender too? You know, God has preferred pronouns and Jeebus too. Funny.
12,000 horsemen, had his own private army, had more money, more women, more wisdom, more honor.
Yeah, no socialism here. I have my own private army. Anyone attacks the rest of the people, I close the gates. Fuck them. You ain't getting through my castle walls. Solomon.
His own personal army, the biggest house. Did all that satisfy? Nope. He writes the book of Ecclesiastes, the words of the preacher, son of David, vanity of vanity.
You know, I just had a thought. So, a thing no one ever thinks about is the fact that if time travel was a thing and we just jumped back in time to, like, let's say someone wanted to go see King Solomon, and they got in outfits that would be period accurate and hopped in their time machine and warped to the area and went go into the town, look after them. What they forget is not only would they be carrying untold diseases that would ravage that entire populace and everyone they encountered, but the same would be true of them contracting diseases that have long since vanished from the world. So it ended up being everyone wiping everybody out. I thought of this from the fact that I thought of a great way to get a Trojan horse, quote unquote, into the fortress of Solomon in that hypothetical siege situation would be to just send a pretty woman who's kind of disease ridden, if you know what I mean. You know, with something that they wouldn't know to look for, and it's like, oh, maybe a future disease. Oh, then I got thinking about, you know, basic virology and pathogens, and yeah, time travel, not a smart move. Hell, well, no. I was gonna say, damn it, Marty McFly could have. Huh. When did they stop giving the polio vaccine? When did they stop giving the polio vaccine in the U.S.? Has not stopped. Okay, IPV, routine child. Really? Wow. I thought it had stopped. I could have sworn it was like in the 70s or 80s with polio's eradication that the program wound down. Okay, so it's just the other versions of it. Never mind. I'm having a moment here, but as I always stress, in those moments, they're beautiful examples of me misunderstanding history, otherwise being wrong, and going through and being like, oh, wait, I am wrong at a cursory search. The details don't matter. My joke was going to be Marty McFly goes back to 55 and winds up contracting fucking polio. It would be odd. Oh, and Zumi was saying on that GIF, no clue where the GIF is from. Just love using it when somebody talks about war. Then heard worst verse is read in church, unfortunately. Yeah.
All is vanity. Keep in mind, the whole book of Ecclesiastes is written from man's perspective, the wisest man.
It was a G1 Transformers GIF. Excellent.
Looking at life, looking at the world under the sun. This is not the way God sees things, and he tells us that clearly. Be careful about getting any Bible doctrine. From man's perspective, a dog dies, a man dies, they go to the grave. Jehovah's Witnesses jump on that and say, see,
you can't. You said be careful getting any Bible doctrine from a man. You're a man. Why are you giving us doctrine? What the fuck, Kent? All right, everyone, turn off your TVs and stop watching the Ken Hovind show.
You go to the grave. No, Jehovah's Witness. Read the whole book. It's the Solomon's wisdom without.
Oh God. No, Kent is absolutely on the spectrum. I am fully committed to this man having some kind of autism, tagged with a case of OCD. But I am 100% this man has autism. The way he obsesses over this stuff, these certain traits, these certain things, hyperfixates on this stuff is an undiagnosed case of autism that only ever got directed into the Bible. And he lost all ability because it would account for his lack of social skills, yet his awkward charisma. People say he has charisma, and I'm like, I don't see it at all. He's a bumbling idiot. But then I look at myself and realize, oh, I can kind of play the same card, but I happen to be more self aware thanks to people correcting me on stuff, usually pretty bluntly. And in retrospect, I appreciate that because it caused me to learn more about myself and, work on bettering myself. Unlike some people I know, but we won't get into that. On the subject of Kent, though, yeah, I think it's a case of somebody focusing all of his spurglordness, lack of better phrasing, on the Bible, and it just became a thing. And him having to say these same jokes and be the same way is a side effect of that. He has to have that particular control. Hence, it always has to be Dinosaur Adventureland. He always has to be Dr. Kent Hovind. Always has to be this. Always has to be that. Always has to see his slides and stuff. There's comfort blanket.
Okay. It's true, Solomon said it. And God had it recorded and preserved perfectly. But what he said was not, maybe may not be true. The Bible accurately records the lies of the devil. It's true the devil said it, but it ain't true what he said, okay? So don't be careful about this. Under the sun, found 29 times in the Bible, all of them in the book of Ecclesiastes. Under the sun, it's man's perspective. Okay, chapter 8 explores the complexities of life, emphasizing the limits of human wisdom. There's a limit. You can't go any further. Solomon, he was the smartest guy. He said, can't go any farther than this. Importance of respecting authority while trusting.
Sorry, I'm kind of eating dinner at the same time. Bruce, I knew about smallpox. So that's what's weird. Yeah, smallpox they stopped, but I thought we also stopped with polio. No, you know what? You're right. You're right. I did completely blend the two together now that I think about it. Yep, that is what happened. So thank you. Thank you. It's funny, I was aware of smallpox, but still treated as polio, and then I had to realize that, wait, that is what I did. Holy shit. Again, thinking in real time. And since some people seem to think I never say this, I might as well stress that I was wrong. And that's fine, because I can't remember everything. None of us can. We make mistakes. We grow from them. We learn from them. And we thank our friends, like all of you, for ensuring that we are corrected in perfectly friendly ways. I know nobody's judging me. That's something that you won't get from people like Kent, though. That acknowledgement of a simple human trait of, oops, I made a mistake. You don't get that. No humility, no humbleness, no just honest, acknowledgement of, oh, okay. It's just amazing. 73-year-old, 72, 73-year-old man, or goddamn, however the fuck old Trump is, like just shy of 80. Nope. Or just anyone on the right. Any politician, really, but, yeah.
God's justice. You may not understand what's going on. Maybe you got trouble in your life. I've had plenty in mine. Do you trust
No one fucking cares. You deserve everything you've gotten, Kent. In fact, you deserve more than what you've gotten.
God in spite of it? That's what he wants to know. This book, chapter 8, advises obedience to the king's command out of reverence for the oath made before God. Cautioning.
Right, Maria. Thanks for adding that in. Yeah, it would just be smallpox. Polio still infects people elsewhere. It wasn't eradicated globally, just in the U.S. So we'd still need the vaccinations because of the possibility. So, okay. So I am immune to polio. Cool. I'm not. Hey, it was cowpox that gave the immunity to smallpox, and chickenpox is its own thing. I'm pox on all your poxes. You got the pox. Actually sounds kind of cool. As opposed to the pox box, where if you open it, good luck what you're going to get contaminated with. CDC warned you about it. Don't buy it, and someone imported the thing anyway. Anyway, I'm in an ADD moment here. Hypermanic fun times. But yeah, spread through the oral fecal route. Oof, water. Okay, so yeah, but smallpox has been was eradicated. I think it's coming back. I could be wrong on that too, but God. Kent's a man? That's news. I thought it was animated excrement. In the biblical sense, animated excrement is still a man. Oh, no, wait. Castlevania told us this. If someone asks you what is a man, the response is a miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you. Oh, I'm having a real one today.
Against hasty departure from the king's presence or involvement in evil matters. Be careful about getting involved in dumb stuff, okay? As the king holds absolute authority and will to do as he pleases. A wise person understands there's a proper time.
Psychopathy, modesty, intelligence. I mean, that's in there somewhere, but I still Kent's behaviors as a person with with an undiagnosed but very likely case of the tism in their own particular flavor. Uh, Everything points in my mind to him having it, and I don't say that lightly. I don't toss out the I think you've got the tism card very often.
And procedure for every matter, even amidst heavy burdens, and you avoid rash decisions. Who is a wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard.
Thank you, Justin. So, Marty, since we changed from polio to smallpox, since that's what I was actually thinking about, um, biologically, as opposed to, what, like I was thinking about polio, but I was actually referring to it in the context of how smallpox no longer exists. It was stopped in 72. Marty would have been born in 68, so he would have been inoculated against it, so it would have been a non-issue. And chickenpox is a herpes virus. Don't remind me. Just feels weird. Mama Nissan. Yes, pig excrement. There's a vaccine for chickenpox and also for shingles, which is caused by chickenpox virus that stays dormant for years and then gets into then it activates. Yeah, I remember getting chickenpox. That was fun. I was like 5. I know it was in kindergarten, so 5 or 6. Fun times.
Of the oath of God. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Be careful about getting the king upset, okay? Where the word of the king.
Okay. I mean, I don't read that way at all, but I also don't give a fuck what the stupid old book says, so.
King is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? You don't walk into the king and say, what do you think you're doing? He's king, okay? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. He who keeps a royal command, this is one of the commenters I found, experiences no trouble, for a wise heart knows the proper time and procedure. This verse encourages obedience to authority, suggesting those who follow the king's commandment will avoid harm, as the wise understand both the appropriate timing and the manner for action. Because to every purpose there is a time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is.
Oof, chickenpox in high school. That is tough. I'm hoping it didn't do more damage. Heard even as a teen to young adult, it can be it can cause some problems.
Great upon him. Commentator, I think it was Matthew Henry. This verse emphasizes that every human endeavor or purpose has a designated time and a corresponding judgment, reflecting the idea that life unfolds within a framework of divine timing and moral accountability. The phrase, to every purpose there is a time. And
okay, so what's the moral accountability if I want to look at some tig old biddies? All right. Where's the moral accountability there? Moral to myself. I'm a straight man. I like boobs. What's there to account for? I'm waiting. Oh, wait. I forgot. You're recording.
Judgment echoes the sentiment we saw back in chapter 3, which speaks of a time for every activity under heaven.
Like, I really wonder how he'd respond to that if I just said that dead ass in like a debate or something. It's like, what's the point, Kent?
He knoweth not what shall be, and who can tell him when it shall be?
Oh, that's a cool feature. Okay.
There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the
I was gonna be like, what? You don't like boobs, Kent? You like something else? I mean, that's cool. Just let everybody know.
Spirit.
I know you're married 4 times, so your opinion of women's probably not that great. But
and just decide,
don't give up on them yet. I haven't.
Not dying. If your spirit's leaving, go ahead, try to stop it. Neither hath he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war. It doesn't quit. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it.
Zoomy, I can only imagine the nightmare that is. Ugh.
All this have I seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. Sometimes somebody's the boss over somebody, he doesn't treat him right, and ends up hurting the boss. So I saw the wicked buried,
Well, yeah, interesting.
who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is vanity. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. What a thought.
So, translation, because Trump hasn't been removed from power yet, evil prospers. So, this Bible verse is going to tell somebody to vote against Trump. Yep. It's exactly what it's going to tell somebody. I'm not even being funny about it. I interpret it that way. In current context. But, I'm interpreting it as 2025, not a, negative 2025 context.
We think, boy, when somebody does something wrong, it ought to be instant punishment. Well, when wrongdoing is not swiftly punished, people become increasingly emboldened to commit further evil. The delay in judgment does not imply God's indifference, but reflects his patience and desire to give people time to
Dispatch, remind me of that, Watney Kerman, and I will, check stuff out when I, can focus enough to.
repent and turn back. The delay is described as a merciful gift, allowing more time for individuals to overcome sin and grow spiritually. Though a sinner do evil 100 times.
Hey, I overcame sin when I got my PlayStation 2, alright? It was Final Fantasy X, a game I got with the system. It was Christmas of 2003. It was fucking great, because my PlayStation and games and stuff had been stolen, so it was rebuilding things, and it was a fucking DVD player, even though I already had one. It was cool to have that as a DVD player. I overcame sin, overcame the fuck out of them. Final battle was kind of cool. Fight with you, Yevon was really cool. The beetle was weird, but that last thing with the crazy abstract stuff, that was cool. However, it's one of those games where you get to the end and it's like there's a point of no return, and I always hate that because it's like I want to do stuff in that point of no return area and then come back. But Final Fantasy X is still pretty cool. You know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to start at the very, very southernmost point of the main continent on Final Fantasy X and walk all the way to as far as you can go into Zanarkand along the primary paths and see how long it actually takes to walk the entirety of the world. Because Spira is a very tiny world if you really think about it in the paths you take in Final Fantasy X. Because I think it is a contiguous path. There isn't really much, if any, in the way of like downtime area that isn't accounted for. So like Mihem High Road is the fucking Mihem High Road. The Calm Lands are the Calm Lands. It's also been like 20 years since I played that game, and I can't believe I still remember these area names. Why am I talking about Final Fantasy X? Oh, right, sin. Yeah, that's the only sin I care about, Kent.
And his days be prolonged. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. The prolongation of a sinner's life is not a sign of God's approval. It's a reflection of God's patience.
You might want to reflect on that one there, Kent.
Time for repentance. Despite the apparent prosperity of the wicked, the author asserts that with certainty that it will ultimately be well for those who fear God. You just serve God, let God worry about the details. But it shall not be well with the wicked.
The reason it's called chickenpox is because it presents itself like a pox virus. Oh, interesting. That makes complete sense.
Wicked. Neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a
It's like not one of those things I had thought about ever. And then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, totally.
shadow, because he feareth not God. This is vanity, which is done. There is a vanity done upon the earth, that there be just men, unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked. People do right and bad things happen to them. Again, there be wicked men, whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. Sometimes people are wicked and they seem to prosper. Solomon said, this is vanity. Keep in mind, this is Solomon.
Keep in mind. The internet's trying to swallow you whole. Can't. Xanarkand was something else. My emotions when Xanarkand finally came into play in that scene, something else. I've shown the scene to people with only minimal context, and some of them get it, and others are just like, "What? I don't get it. It's just a bunch of ruins." And I'm like, you know, it's almost a litmus test for if I can be friends with somebody on a level more than just, oh, I have to tolerate you. Hell, it's almost like a girlfriend check. It's like, here's the quiz. Do you match with me? What does this image make you think of? A city dead for 1,000 years. A city I had to see with my own eyes. I forget the line, and then it's the end of Yuna's journey.
You under the sun. Then I commended mirth, as laughter, jokes, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. For that shall abide with him of his labor
Oh,
that all the days of his life.
okay. The line from Final Fantasy X is a city dead for 1,000 years, a city I had to see with my own eyes, the end of Yuna's journey, the last chapter in my story. That fucking scene with all the buildup around, Titus saying he's from Xanarkand and it being a dead city, that sacred yet evil place at the same time from the war. It's like, dude, you're joking. No one's from Xanarkand. That's no, shut up. People are gonna think you're crazy, you know. And then you see it, and it's like it's finally verified in world. Like, yeah, you start there, you come back, it is not the same, and then everything that's going on starts to make sense, like it does in any good Final Fantasy. Whew, the emotion there, that attachment I have to those places that were once alive like that. Pripyat, Ukraine is the same way. Um, yeah, that's a real place, mind you, not just a place in a freaking video game, but the emotion I feel, the connection I feel, something really special. Don't know why, I connect to that. Maybe it's the fact that no one's there to ruin anything anymore. I don't know.
Which God giveth him under the sun. When I applied mine heart to know wisdom and to see the business that is done upon the earth, for that also that there is neither day nor night. For also there is.
Seymour is just absolute scum. Hovind would have loved him. Yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy X. The Seymour guy, he's my favorite character. He summons his own dead mother. He probably has daddy issues, like me. Hovind.
That neither day nor night shall see us sleep. They just work all the time. So he said, I saw the wisdom of the business that is done. Some people involved in business, they sacrifice their health to get wealth. They don't get sleep enough. Then I beheld
That's capitalism for you.
all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. See, sometimes we just simply don't know. Why? Are you going to trust God anyway?
No, because your God's a lying piece of shit who isn't real. Speaking of clawed balls, because we were bringing our friend up earlier, there's the man, the myth, the legend themselves with, if we came from clay, how come there's still clay? Nice. Hey, Claude, earlier we'd brought up, Hovind brought up his daddy because it's Veterans Day. Well, it was going to be Veterans Day today, so tomorrow at the time of the stream, you know what I mean. Can you verify what disease or what condition Kent's dad had when he stayed out of conflict and everyone else in his platoon died, and somehow that makes him a war hero? Because there's some debate, and by debate I mean one thing has been brought up, and I already forgot what that was, and but we don't know for sure, and I think you might remember. So if you can let us know, that'd be great, and if not, that's cool too. Another hyperfixation, Final Fantasy games. That was me as a teenager. Not so much now, but I still love them.
I've had tragedy
Like the classics that I enjoy.
in my life. Put me in jail for 9 years for no reason, stole everything from me.
Oh, boo fucking who, Kent? Oh, poor Kent Hovind. Oh, structure your withdrawals so you don't have to file reporting stuff and have your tax income looked into more. And so the IRS doesn't get involved. And poor little Kent, he fucked around and found out. Woohoo! And then his property got sold. And what didn't get sold, his son stole from him. Oh, everyone pity the Kent Hovind. Pity the poor pastor didn't do anything wrong. Oh, poor Hovind. Eat a dick, Kent.
What about it? What do you do? Oh, trust God. This happened in the book of Job. I used to preach on Job a lot, dinosaurs in the Bible. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. He was perfect.
If we come from our parents, why do we still have parents? That's like T-Jump's. Have you ever seen a Kent? Was it T-Jump who said, have you ever seen a Kent produce a non-Kent? Whoever said that was genius.
Upright, and he feared God and hated evil. And he had 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was great, 7,000 sheep. 3,000.
Still got to make that video that's just Kent snorting in mucus.
Camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 she-asses, and a very great household. He was the greatest man of all the men of the East. He was rich. Now, before the flood came, the people lived to be 900. Okay? After the flood, they lived to be 400 for a while. Job was probably written during that time.
And yeah, Final Fantasy VI is something else. Kefka fucking won. He succeeded. Everything after the fact was that group deciding we're not going to let this stand. That is so fucked up. Love it. Absolutely love 6.
Nobody knows for sure when it was written. But Job had 10 grown children. All of them died. Then he had 10 more children and saw his great-grandchildren from the second batch.
Okay, because Claude, one person mentioned a disease. Again, I forget who in my chat. Could have been a joke. Could have been something serious. Maybe been syphilis or something was mentioned. I can't ever tell. Sarcasm doesn't carry well through text. I remember there was actually an old video of his I was watching where he did bring up his father being sick at the time. So like we joke about it, but it was actually verified in that. And I wished I remember exactly which video it was, or if I had covered it when it was. So Kent did say that at a point. So I think we can safely, consider that one verified. I do distinctly remember somewhere he went into the details of it, but didn't say what the illness was. So, okay, thank you for at least getting back to me with what you could recall.
I'd say you got to be living a long time to do that, okay? So Job lived 140 years, and this is after the trial, after his testing with Satan. And he saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So the messenger came and said, Job, the Sabians came and they stole all your stuff and they killed all your servants. The fire of God came and burned up all the sheep and they stole all the camels. Your sons and daughters were all killed. You can read the chapter for everything's going wrong. You
can read the chapter yourself, even though I just went through a summary of half of it because, I'm too fucking lazy to actually do my goddamn job. Even though that's what I do all the time, is fucking read half the Bible where it's irrelevant or tangential bullshit that doesn't really relate to what I'm doing. Hovind.
I mean, like everything going wrong. All Job said was, the Lord gave, the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's a hard one to do, but sometimes you just do not know, okay? Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. That means you can't sit comfortably, you can't stand, you can't lay down, you got boils everywhere. I've only had a couple of boils in my life. You ever had one, Joseph?
I don't think so.
It's like the world's worst is it.
Oh my goodness.
Any pressure on it and it makes you want to scream. And he had them all over, so what are you going to do? Can't sit, can't stand, can't lay down. His wife turned against him. Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. I'd say Job's having a bad week. Bible says the wife should reverence her husband, treat him like a god, offer him burnt sacrifices, morning, noon, and lunch. Okay. He said unto her, you speak like the foolish women. Shall we not receive good at the hand of God and not evil? Job trusted God in spite of everything going wrong. Then his 4 friends came to visit him. And they should have been comforting him, but he said, you are miserable comforters. Eliphaz started off, whoever
Boy, this just seems to be all the same crap from his last sermon.
Perished being innocent. This is the theme through the whole book of Job. Job, we came to visit you to tell you, you must have sinned. You must have done something wrong. Yeah, people do that. Hovind, you went to prison. You must have done something wrong. You lost everything. You must have done something wrong. That's the attitude.
You losing everything really doesn't have anything to do with whether you did something or wrong, as in that isn't some verification that you did something wrong. The fact that you were convicted, the records are out there, the case information's out there, you were convicted of these crimes. Neither, again, it's the craziest damned conspiracy possible with a half-ass case of trying to silence you like you think, or you actually did the crime and did the time.
Do they get? That's the wisdom of the world. Okay. Don't go to the hospital when your friend's getting his gallstones taken out. Say, brother, these aren't gallstones. These are tithes and offerings. God's getting them out of you one way or another. Don't do that. Okay. Job said, I wish the Lord would answer me. Chapter 31. So in chapter 38, the Lord answered Job out of a whirlwind. I advise you, if a tornado starts talking to you, pay attention. Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Here God, with one sentence, said, Job, your 4 friends and your wife did not know what they were talking about. So be careful about getting doctrine from Job also. It's true Bildad said it, but it might not be true what he said. Just be cautious. Rightly divide the word of truth, okay? God said, gird up now thy loins like a man. I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. I got some questions for you, Job. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? What? God said, Job, where were you
Oh yeah, he's got to make it about him.
when I built this world? Huh? Job doesn't answer. The Lord searches the hearts. He understands the imaginations of the thoughts. God knows the thoughts of man. I know the thoughts, and I know their works and their thoughts. Jesus, knowing their thoughts. Oh, wow, wait. Old Testament Isaiah said God knows their thoughts, and New Testament Luke says Jesus knows their thoughts. That's one of hundreds of verses you can put together and say, pretty simple. Jesus was God Almighty in the flesh, okay? Declare if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof? Job, who built this planet you're standing on? Job doesn't answer. Have you entered into the springs of the sea? Scientists didn't even know there were springs in the sea until 1977. God said, where is the way where light dwelleth? Well, now that is interesting. Light doesn't stay in a place. Light is in a way. He said, as for darkness, where's the place thereof? Job doesn't answer the question. See, we're the children of light. We're supposed to be on the move, okay? So the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Blah, blah, blah. What the fuck even is all this, Kent?
Gates don't
Oh, I think it starts to say Matthew down there, but I can't tell because of Joseph's incompetence. We got your stupid ass little micro screen in the way.
attack you, you attack them. So get busy and do something for God. Whereas, in what way is the light parted which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Does the light cause the wind? Ask any weatherman. Sure does. The hot air, the sunlight heats the air, expands, rises, causes all the wind patterns from the sun. Okay, and the light can be divided up through a prism into the visible spectrum. A little bitty slice. We can only see a small piece of it. Okay.
Your description of light and spectrum analysis is lacking there, Kent. You say the light can be divided up into the visible spectrum. It's like, no, white light will generally emit evenly amongst all elements of the spectrum. Different temperature / different colors of light will, if broken apart, show accordingly.
God said, canst thou send lightnings?
Which I should mention, that's also how we can tell what elements are in stars and other high energy distant objects like that. The molecular makeup, because you'll have emission lines from the particular ionized atoms emitting photons. Well, they were atoms till the electrons were stripped of them. I mean, they're technically atoms, but is it really an atom if it doesn't have any electrons at that stage? I don't know. It's weird. Physics is weird, man. It's like beta decay. We don't call that an atom.
What's a good
Or was it alpha decay? Whichever one is the helium nucleus. I forget.
thing I can't? How many of you can think of somebody that's lucky to be alive because you can't send the lightnings? Okay. Canst thou send the lightnings that they may go and say unto thee, here we are. Is God telling Job that electricity can be used in a message?
Okay, yeah, radioactive decay. It was alpha decay that's a helium nucleus.
Like, telephone, radio, email, computers. Yeah, that's how it's all sent, folks, okay? God asked Job question after question after question. 84 questions by my count. Ready to go to chapter 41. Can you draw out Leviathan with a hook? And Job doesn't answer. I think Leviathan's fire-breathing dragon.
I've got a Leviathan joke I could make, but it's not appropriate, so I'm going to take the higher road and not make it. But Kent, there's a joke I want to make really bad every time you bring up, like, can you draw out Leviathan with a hook? Okay, I'll make a variant of the joke, maybe with a hooker.
Probably the T-Rex or something like that. I did a video on that. It's on our channel there. Part of the miscellaneous series. You have that one separate too, Joseph? Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon. There's a real good sermon in that one, I'll tell you what. It's also part of the series, the topical series.
Old boats, I've looked into details. It'd be a process, but it might be possible to gather some info. But it'd have to be through roundabout sources. Direct information through FOIA requests won't be able to be released until way, way in the future because the man only died in '93. So we've got a while before we can investigate Kent's daddy.
Yeah, it's a green one, I know. That's okay. All right.
At least in that way.
So everything went wrong. God asked Job 84 questions. God never answered any of Job's questions, not one. Instead, he asked him questions. And he gave Job an attitude adjustment. You parents know about that. Dad comes in, hey, son, I ask you some questions. Who bought that bed you slept on last night? Who paid for that food you eat and eat and eat? Who paid for this house you're living in, son? Who bought that bicycle for you? Just nod your head. Yes, Dad. Yes, Dad. Yes, Dad. Okay. God's asking Job questions to get an attitude adjustment. Sometimes we need that attitude adjustment ourselves. 84 questions. Would you trust God even if it looks like everything is going wrong? Even if you go to prison, even if they're going to kill you. And it's happening all over in African countries, and they're killing Christians just because they're Christian. It's coming here.
Yeah, I've been looking into this. It's been small, isolated pockets of things, specialty heated incidents, and not some kind of mass genocide like Kent and others want to make it out to be. Kent hasn't explicitly said it, but he does kind of imply it the way he talks about it. No, it's not coming here, Kent. Those are local issues that would be resolved in ways if, people could move, people would stop proselytizing to each other, and just if things just kind of work themselves out like y'all always think they will. How about we go to a two-party system, that our two-state system, or whatever the hell the Palestine Israel separation was? That totally worked there. Oh wait, we don't have control over that area, so we can't enact that kind of bullshit because it isn't 1947 anymore.
Remember that Aladdin movie? He said, will you trust me? Do you trust me? I think God says, hey.
Really, boy? Bringing up Aladdin? We're gonna bring up Aladdin there, Hovind. Let me tell you, boy. Yeah, I just suddenly channeled my inner redneck piece of shit against Hovind. Funny. You understand he's Muslim, right? Like, the film actually has, and I never understood this as a kid. It sounded weird until I realized what the Sultan was saying, because his name was Sultan, not his title being Sultan. He says, Allah forbid. They are fucking Muslim, Kent, and you're using that right after a Muslims are killing Christians thing, because that's what it boils down to, is pockets of tribal infighting stemmed from that. Wow, Kent, way to go. Way to go.
I know what I'm doing.
Do you like being called boy, Kent?
See, if you go through trauma and tragedy, you get great rewards in heaven. You ever watch those football games? Those guys are out there banging into each other, hurting each other. Yeah, but the people in the stands are thinking, yay, you're going to get great rewards. You get a big paycheck, right? God.
Welcome to the entertainment industry, Kent. If you were entertaining, you'd know about that.
Up in heaven, they're looking down saying, wow, hang in there. It's going to be worth it all, okay? All things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are the called according to his purpose. It doesn't say everything's good. It says it'll work together for good. I use this illustration on my seminar, part 3, about dinosaurs. I say, you ever been hungry? Oh, yeah, I'm hungry. Brother Hovind, I'm hungry. Here, how about a cup of flour? Would that taste good? No, that wouldn't taste good. How about a spoonful of salt? No, that wouldn't taste good. How about a teaspoon of baking soda? Doesn't taste good. How about a cup of buttermilk? Have a cup of Crisco and a cup of buttermilk. How about we?
Yes, you would, refer to that particular variant of cooking slash baking oil by a brand name. Because, that's what intelligent people do. They genericize trademarks.
Mix them all together and make biscuits. See,
How to get it, make biscuits. Don't you eat ass, Kent? This whole thing is stupid. You don't eat fucking ingredients like that. Or something that's baked like that. That's not how baking works, dude. You can eat all the constituent parts of a ham sandwich. Unless, you're making the bread yourself and then you got the same kind of thing going on. But I'm just saying, what kind of meal are you trying to make here? Come on. Also, you didn't mention fucking, I was going to call them tomatoes, strawberries and shit in the ingredients list. So where the hell did they come from?
work together for biscuits. Individually, they taste bad. The things that happen in your life might not be good, but it'll work together for good if
Yes, because your life is biscuits.
you love God and you're called according to his purpose. Life is that simple. Okay, that was Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Joseph, any questions or comments?
No one had shit to say locally. Excuse me. Zumi brings up the weird thing about Aladdiners, though. Jinn, are evil godlike beings in Islam. Yeah, that is an interesting one. And we got a $6.99 Canadian super chat from the ever generous Rogue Rainbow. He definitely likes being called boy. He got used to it in prison all the time. Oh, excellent, excellent. Thank you so very much. Nice super chat for a very nice comment. Ah, winning. As far as I know, only the Turks have had genocidal impulse in the Middle East, and two, they have been on board NATO from the start. Plus, they still butcher Kurds. Yep. Kent, you don't cook for yourself. Good point.
Are the dinosaurs in heaven? I hope so. We know there's some animals that come back
I hope so.
on white horses. So I'm assuming heaven's going to have all kinds of cool stuff up there. What's your opinion about India? They should definitely keep it right where it's at. I don't know. Never been there. Don't know much about it. We've had people from India come here.
I don't. Oh, a Dino lamp is powered up. I don't know anything about the rest of the world. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. It's not something I have in my script. So, I don't have an actual opinion on it because I literally don't comprehend anything in the universe unless it's in my goddamn script. Because I'm a fucking moron. And I can't elucidate on just random subjects off the cuff because I'm too fucking stupid and too uneducated of a prick to be able to.
Tried our satellite dishes talking in some of their Indian dialects, and it worked fine. We've tried our satellite dishes talking back and forth in 84 languages.
Hey, Kent, they're not satellite dishes. They're just reflectors, audio reflectors. The concave concretions. That's it. They're not satellite dishes, you fucking moron. Oh, they may both be parabolic, but they're not the same. And notice again that he has to turn into a thing about himself. Oh well, I have Indians come here. What can I say? Oh yeah, they talk their pagan language into the dish, and it works. Oh, fucking ridiculous.
Only one we can't get it to work in is sign language, and Joseph is working on that. Our tech guy, okay?
That group from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, that Baptist group, they're in the chat on TikTok. They say, hey.
Hey,
A group from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. They're here in the chat on TikTok. Oh yeah, enjoy your CCP propaganda there, buddy.
Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I preached. Listen, you got some sinners in Mississippi. Guys, get to work, okay?
Hey, Kent. You've been doing this thing that all the fucking Republicans for some reason have been on recently, where it's like you don't want a democracy, you want a republic. And some of you who watched one of my videos recently on some bullshit comments will know this. Hey, Kent. Give me a second. Yawn coming. Since China calls itself the People's Republic of China, does that make them good guys since they're a republic too? By your logic, it does. So I don't know why you're bitching about China. Oh, excuse me, I gotta say it in Trumpese. China.
Do your job over there. Get everybody converted.
Do your job over there.
Okay, what can you tell us about the great unconformity? Huge chunk of Earth's rock record is missing. The whole geologic column, it means nothing. There isn't, the layers are all formed during Noah's flood. And if you look at the layers that they talk about all being millions of years different in age, stop and think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Last time I checked for something to be a satellite, it had to be in orbit. And, that stuff kills me. My sister's dad, he said some stupid shit like that. He was like, oh, they'll put up a satellite, referring to a receiving antenna. A parabolic receiving antenna, i.e. the satellite dish, quote unquote, for usually microwave communication or something to that effect. Other high frequency, what have you. And my teenage self at first thought they're not going to launch a whole damn payload for one person. That's insane. That doesn't work. And then it hit me what he meant, and I thought, God, this guy's an idiot. And, Hovind just cements that. And dude is a dumbass. My sister's dad is dumb. A republic is a form of democracy. Yeah, but try convincing right-wing morons of that, Zoomy. It's a constitutional republic, but these people follow the Constitution as well as they follow their commandments. Exactly, Chris. They do not. They do not care. They say they care. They do not care.
Okay, here, my geologic column out here. Okay. Get a close-up picture.
Look, my synopsis on the U.S. is that it is a republic. We have representatives that handle the bulk of the legislative stuff. However, the democratic process is used to elect them via particular methodologies that I don't necessarily agree with. But at the core of it is a democratic voting process to elect these representatives. So, yeah, it's not just an authoritarian republic. So it's as win-win as we can make it.
Grand Canyon, there's between the layers, there's no erosion, there's no soil built up, there's no
because there's just going to be dirt in between rock layers, Kent. That doesn't make sense. What are you asking for? You're asking for the process of rock formation to just stop, and then for a new layer to just start becoming rock again? That's not how it works.
Tree roots. That layer sat there for millions of years and nothing happened. This is pure baloney. The geologic column does not exist. It's stupid. Okay. So if they'll say, oh, well, there's unconformity. There's a whole section of our imaginary chart missing.
Hey, Kent, your God doesn't exist. Stupid.
Well, good.
See how easy it is to say? The difference is I'm right.
Good. Maybe you ought to stop and think. Your chart's stupid. Didn't happen. There is no geologic column at all. Okay. I'll shut this thing off here. Burn my sock off my foot, my little heater. Joseph, is it okay to have thermal underwear on under a Hawaiian shirt?
Kent, you've asked that 3 fucking times this year thinking it's a cute joke. It's not a cute joke. It's not funny. No one fucking cares what you're wearing, as long as you're wearing something. Also, love that they slipped Creationist Crybabies comment in. From YouTube, mind you. Never pop zits near your nose. You can get a serious infection. They call it the triangle of death. This is true. This is very true. So if you have any issues in that area, skin's still acting up, and for some reason you just decide, I'm going to pop this thing. Nope. Don't do it. It's not safe, not good, not healthy.
I believe so.
Okay. I don't care what's okay or not.
I thankfully didn't have any issues with that. But if you ever meet me in person or see a good photo of me, my face shows the damage of my teenage years. Skin wasn't the best.
Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay. Never pop zits near your nose. You can get serious infections. Wow. Thank you so much, Crybaby. I appreciate that. Okay. What's the origin of evolutionism? That would be the devil.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll be the devil.
God designed everything. Devil said, I got to get some way to get people to stop believing in God. And evolution is...
Because that's totally going to change the reality. What the hell does it matter? Why do you give a fuck? If the truth is the truth, why does it fucking matter what other people even think, Kent? That's the funny thing.
It worked for a bunch of folks. Let's see. I have a question. Are we still required to give tithes and offerings? Required might be a strong word. God said in Malachi, the last book of the Old Testament, he said, you're not blessed. I can't bless you because you're not tithing. if you give 10% of your increase, not doesn't have to be your whole paycheck. I mean, if you have to spend $50 a week to get to work and you make $400 a week, well, then your increase is $350. Okay, but I don't want to cheat God out of anything.
That's not an increase, Kent. That would be defined as profit. Money made over costs.
I just give it all. Okay, I don't. So I got a ministry house I live in and utilities, so I don't have the bills to pay, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's a requirement, but it's wise to do. They did in 1 Corinthians. They did bring the offerings to the Lord on the first day of the week, which is why the church meets the first day now. It's got nothing to do with the Sabbath. So yes, I don't think you're required. I think you should, and that's how the church and ministries are funded. People give 10%. See, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 13 kids, 1 daughter, 12 boys. They became the 12 tribes of Israel. God chose one of those tribes, Levi, to be in charge of all the.
Why? That sounds like some authoritarian bullshit right there, Kent.
Take care of the temple, take care of the offerings, read the Bible to the people, make copies of the Bible. They had a full-time job, just ministry work. So they couldn't have time to go take care of their sheep and cows and, plow a field.
Kent, back then it wouldn't have been the Bible. It would have just been what existed of what would become the Old Testament. And if you look at Judaism historically, you'd also get whatever other books are in there, which I don't know the exact details because I don't care about fantasy.
And raise their crops. So he told the other 11, you guys tithe to the Levites. Well, let's just pick some numbers. Everybody makes $100 a week.
Okay, esoteric, I could be mistaken. Yeah, no danger. Yeah, let's just ask. Is that true? Let's see what just say. I think yes, triangle death is a real anatomical area of the face. Blah blah blah. Veins in this area like valves, meaning infection can theoretically travel directly to the brain. So okay, sort of, but I mean, the odds are the risk is minimal. It's like I'd say maybe it's like eating raw cookie dough. There's risk there, but it's so minimal it doesn't really matter. I don't know. A guy went to prison for tax evasion is telling us not to cheat. Good point.
11 people are going to give $10 to the Levites. That means they're getting $110 a week. But they also have to pay for all the stuff at the temple. So it worked out fine for everybody.
And I used to know this a few months ago, old boats. I cannot recall now.
God said, if you will bring the tithe into the storehouse, Malachi chapter 3, I'll pour you out a blessing. You won't be able to receive it. I've never in my 56 years been able to outgive God.
There's that weird squeak again. Rochester brings up, denying the geology just proves him to be a total fool. We have a mountain of chemistry for studying the chemistry of rocks. He'd still just hand wave it away. Some raw cookie dough is meant to be eaten, though. Yeah, but they specifically market it that way. I'm talking about your general raw cookie dough.
Like the more I do, the more he says, here.
It's processed in a particular way to be like, here you go, enjoy it. But the regular stuff that's intended strictly to become cookies, always has that little warning.
We wanted to get that Jeep the other day, Joseph. I needed $1,000. So, brother, what, I had 2,000. I said, okay, I'm going to get another 1,000. I go open the donation box. There's $1,000 in there. Right on time.
It's like you hadn't been asking for it for the past 3 months. Well, I need $1,000 to make sure that Jeep number 4 gets a new door. Yeah.
Thank you, God. I sometimes wish he would do it a little early, but seems to always wait till the last minute. Okay, if I wouldn't have picked up a Bible, I would have still continued to believe in evolution and the Big Bang Theory.
Translation. Didn't have got this big book of bullshit and been convinced by morons like this Hawaiian shirt-wearing fuckwit, I'd probably not have much of an understanding of these concepts, but I would at least be more in concordant with reality than I am now.
Well, I'm glad you picked it up. Big Bang Theory is the dumbest. Evolution is the dumbest religion in the world. You really
not a religion, moron.
Really believe you're related to a potato and we all came from a rock? Joseph, that thing you did about...
You really believe a magical sky daddy sacrificed himself to himself and that you're made from animated dirt and that there was enough water to cover the whole planet and that plants can live without sunlight and fucking his magical hair. Y'all know that's the Simpsons story, right? The motherfucker had magic hair.
Out of rock. It's only been up for, an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. check that out on our channel. Okay. They do believe they came from a rock. That's so stupid.
And you believe you're a dirt man.
That's it. Okay. Tomorrow night, same time, Joseph? Was the show same time, 7?
7 o'clock. Yeah.
7 o'clock right here. And
Rather than just upload a video, though, we're going to live stream an old one.
what's the name of the show?
Because that's an intelligent use of what's likely limited bandwidth, relatively limited.
Mike Weatherford, I believe it's a Weatherford show.
Weatherford show. Okay.
Mike Weatherford.
Mike Weatherford.
Yeah.
If you know anybody got a podcast wants me to guest, give me a call. I want to stir up trouble before I die. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, see you tomorrow night. Bye.
Well, that was a thing to watch. That was totally a thing to watch. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't totaled a Jeep either. Yeah, I ate raw cookie dough as well when given the option. And yeah, the straw man do just keep getting dumber and dumber. Game Awards 2024 trailer for Dispatch. All right, I will do that. And with that said, this has been a surprisingly short stream. That's a good thing, though. Gives me more time to get to other stuff. All right, usual case of much love, everyone. I'll catch y'all next time.